and this is my review of the Google Nexus 4. This is the latest Nexus phone. And yeah, first of all we're going to be taking a look at the hardware, then we're going to jump into the software later on. So first of all, we're going to run through the specs. First off, it's a 4.7 inch screen. This is with a resolution of 1280 by 768, and it's just above 720p resolution. That's just to compensate for the on screen buttons here, so there's no capacitive buttons to navigate through the operating system. They're all on screen at the bottom, which I'll show you once the phone is booted up. It also is running the latest version of Android 4.2.1, has 2 GB of RAM, and it has a quad-core processor. This is the latest Snapdragon Pro processor, so it's one of the best processors that you could get on the market right now. And it also is available in 16 and 8 GB, so depending on your needs and how much you want to spend, you can get either one. It also has Corning Gorilla Glass 2 on the front and on the back, because there's glass on the front and back. I'm going to get more into that later on. It's all got the all normal bits and bobs: Wi-Fi, GPS, accelerometer, and all of that good stuff. And it also has an IPS screen, so when you're viewing the screen, it should be nice and sharp and bright. So it's going to walk you through the phone. Like I said, on the front there's no physical buttons or capacitive buttons. It's just nice and clean. You got a camera at the top. This is a 1.3 megapixel camera. You got a speaker phone right there, so you can listen in while you're calling. On the left hand side we got a volume rocker, very easy to press. You can see it's got this kind of nice chrome look to it, very nice. You got your micro SIM port right there, so you can actually slide your SIM card in there, and you could use your little ejection tool to eject out right there, so you can see. At the bottom we have 2 screws. That is to get access into the bottom of the phone. It's in case you want to do any servicing, but you can't remove the battery or anything like that, so you know, that's something to bear in mind. You got one microphone right here, and you got your USB micro USB at the bottom. On the right hand side you only got a lock button and on and off switch. At the top you got your 3.5mm headphone jack and another microphone. You have the 2 microphones that holds better with noise cancellation. On the back we have the 8 megapixel camera and the LED flash, and you got the Nexus logo here and LG and some other good stuff. And right here is a little slot. That little slot there is for your speakers. The speakers on there are good, but it does sound tinny. It's not the best speakers out there. There's definitely other phones that provide better sound quality coming from these built-in speakers. And another thing to note is once you have it like face down, because it's at the bottom, it will muffle the sound. So that's just something to bear in mind, but you can just get around this by turning it upside down and kind of listen to it that way. But that's just something to bear in mind with the design. If you're planning on listening to music through the built-in speakers, don't have it flat down like that. Kind of have it maybe at an angle or the other way around, like I said before. Take a look at the build quality now. Like I said before, it's got a Corning Gorilla Glass 2 on the front and the back. They've gone with glass on the front and the back, and I think it looks very, very nice. You can see the screen, it just looks clean, and it kind of looks like the previous Nexus device, which is very nice. And something I just want to note is I do have a screen protector on there, so if it may look a bit funny, that's because of the screen protector. Let's look at the back, and I don't know if you can see that. If you're looking to the light, you can see it's got this kind of nice pattern at the back, which is very nice. At some angles it just looks plain black, but when you kind of tilt it into the light, you can see the kind of sparkly effects. It's like these little squares that kind of sparkle as you're moving it around. It's very, very nice design, and the logo, the Nexus logo, and all of the writing down here is all underneath the glass, so it just really gives it that nice effect. And so is the camera as well. The camera is underneath the glass, but the flash does slightly come up a bit. It does protrude just a little bit there. And yeah, look at the design on the back. It's very, very nice. You can see just at the angle. I love the back of it. It looks very, very nice. On the side we've got this kind of rubber soft plastic going around it. It actually feels very, very nice, and you know, that rubberized grip going around it gives it that extra grip when you're holding it in your hand. And you got this kind of like chrome, I think it's plastic chrome bezel going around, so you could see. And you know, it just doesn't make the phone look too plain. It kind of, you know, brings it out a bit. I really do like the design. And if you're comparing this to the old Nexus, it does feel a lot better than the old Nexus. It feels more premium. That's just because it's not made out of entirely plastic. It's got the nice glass on the front and the back, and it just feels better and more comfortable to hold in the hand. And yeah, this is just a quick look at the hardware. Hopefully I covered everything. Just give you a nice good look of how thin it is as well. It's not the thinnest phone in the market, but it feels pretty good. So you can get a good idea of the designs on the back and how everything looks. Very, very nice. But nope, now we're done with the hardware. Now we're going to jump into the software. Now we're going to take a look at the software on the Nexus 4. Like I said before, it is running the latest version of Android. This is Android 4.2.1. And the thing about this phone is you're always going to receive the latest updates directly from Google first. So maybe straight after it's announced, maybe a couple days or in the same day or a couple weeks after, you know you're going to get that update first before any other phone like the Samsung Galaxy S3. You're always going to get it first on any Nexus device. So that's one of the nice advantages about buying this phone. And it is running stock Android. This is the pure Android. That means no skins on top, no HTC Sense, no TouchWiz or any other skins out there, which means you're gonna get the pure stock Android experience, which is very, very nice. So first thing I want to show you, first feature I want to show you is the lock screen. They've added widgets to the lock screen, so you can unlock it normally. You can unlock it just by going swiping up. Unlocks it normally. And if you see those little bars there, so you can kind of swipe it across, and then you have a widget. This is the plume widget. They updated the application to support the lock screen widget, so you can see how it looks, and you can still scroll through it and it just runs perfectly. You can check your feed without actually having to unlock your phone. And if you swipe across to the other side, we've got camera set up, so you can just go straight into here. If you want to take a picture quickly, this is the fastest way to do it. As soon as you don't even have to unlock your phone or enter your password or anything. You can just unlock it, swipe across and take a picture. Very, very nice. I like how they've done that. But obviously if you want to view your pictures while you go into that, you do need to enter your password again. You can only take pictures. You don't have access to anything on the phone. But if you do have it unlocked, you don't need to do any of that. So that's just a quick look at the lock screen. You can add more stuff to it if you want. If you swipe across again, you could add more stuff. These are all the widgets that are available. And as more applications update, you have more widgets to use. So if you wanted to use that one, you kind of customize it out, and then you could have that right there at the top. You can have that, your battery life and everything. You just unlock it as normal, which is great. I really do like how they've done that. Another one thing I wanted to say, that the phone is buttery smooth. Like I said before, you can see I'm just swiping across the screens. It seems so responsive and smooth. No lag or no stutter whatsoever. So you can get a good idea. If you go over to widgets, swipe across here. Very, very smooth. Same goes for multitasking. Just look how quick that is. Super quick. No issues with lag or performance or issues or anything like that. Everything runs smoothly. Another quick feature I wanted to show you is your notification bar changed slightly. So if you were to drag it down, you still have the time and the date. You carry at the bottom, and then you have this new option here. If you tap there, it takes you straight into like your quick settings, where you could enable airplane mode. You could turn Bluetooth on and off. You have your alarms that you've set, battery, your network signal, wireless, your brightness, and then you could jump straight into settings. And you could tap any one of these. Say if you wanted to see your battery info, you could tap it, go straight into your battery info. So that's pretty good. Same goes for brightness and settings, which is really great. And there's another quick way to get into those settings. Instead of going down and tapping there, you can just use two fingers, swipe down from the top, and it takes you straight into those settings. So you can see, swipe one finger down to take you there, two fingers down to take you into those settings, which is pretty nice. I really do like how they've added that in the quick settings. So yeah, that's just one of the new features I wanted to show you. And another thing I wanted to say was the battery life. A lot of people have been asking about the battery life. Is it good? And the question is, the battery life isn't the best out there. With my experience, it would just about get me through the day. Just about. That's with medium usage. But if you're a heavy user, you might want to bring a charger with you, or maybe a battery pack to kind of get you through. I would take the battery off for about 9 o'clock, and then I'll probably see the warning message when it gets to 15% around 8 o'clock, depending on how I use it. So it all varies. Like I said, the battery life isn't great, but hopefully it's just a bug in the OS. Hopefully they could update it and maybe improve the battery life, or alternatively you can root it and put a custom ROM in there that is more likely to improve the battery life as well. So that's just something to bear in mind if you're thinking about getting this and how the battery life is. So let's just jump straight into the battery. See the battery life. I didn't forgot to charge it this morning. I only charged it about halfway. Like I said, the thing that takes up the battery life the most is the Android OS and probably phone idle and some other stuff as well. Like I said, it all varies. Like I said, the battery life isn't great. It will just about get you through the day. If you're going to use heavy usage, it probably won't get you through the entire day. But hopefully they can fix this with a software update. The feature I wanted to show you was the camera, because the camera's been completely redesigned. As you can see, it looks a lot more cleaner. You just got the button there to start to take the picture or to record. You got up here to turn on auto flash, and then you got down here to change the different modes. If you want to jump into photo, video, photo spare, which you're going to take a look at, or panorama mode. So you could tap here and then it takes you straight into the settings. You could kind of just swipe your finger across and go into different settings. So if you wanted to switch over to the front facing camera, you could do that, or you could switch over to these settings, HDR mode. You could turn auto flash on and off, or have it set to auto. You could change the contrast. You could go straight into the settings, or you could change the kind of lighting situation, which is pretty good. This is, like I said, this is an 8 megapixel camera, and it does shoot okay pictures. It's not the best quality that I've seen. Definitely other phones like the Samsung Galaxy S3 and the HTC One X does produce better image quality by far. And the video quality is good on there as well. You could change over to the video. And if you want to see a camera test, I'll put the link to it somewhere on the screen. You could go click on that and go see what the video quality is like yourself. So you can see just a quick look at the new interface. Very, very nice and clear. And I just like how they've done this interface, how you change over to it. And this is one of the new features that they've added to it, is photo spare. We could take like street view photos. You could take a picture of here, it will start to align, then you could just keep going all the way around and take a picture until you make like a complete spare of everything, and then you know it stitches it together after. And I'm just gonna go back. I want to show you, I've done one already. I just want to show you what it looks like so you can get a good idea of how it is. So this is one that I took earlier. This is how you view it in gallery. You just tap there and then it automatically goes full screen, and kind of you can see how it is in its like street view photo. So you can kind of keep going all the way around, and you can see how it stitches everything together and how it looks. As long as you line it up good, everything will look perfect and it'll stitch it together perfect. Like here was it stitched together. You can see some little errors there, but for the most part it's stitched it together pretty good, and it looks pretty good as well. I really do like it. So you can kind of set it to go automatically around. And yeah, this is a quick look at Photo Spare. Very nice feature if you want to take awesome pictures, and you could upload this to Google Plus, which I might do as well. So if you want to see this image for yourself or what it looks like, go head over to Google Plus. It might be there if I know how to upload it. And yeah, that's a quick look at Photo Spare. And another thing I want to touch on is the web browser. So we're going to jump into the default web browser, and I have to say the Chrome default web browser isn't the best. I did prefer the older web browser that they used. It was a lot more responsive and you know, just overall a lot better. So you can see I've got the verge.com loaded up. You can see just how responsive it is. I always find Chrome browser just not to be as responsive or as I would like it to be, and this isn't just for the Nexus, this is for any other phone that I've tried as well. It's just not as responsive as I would like it to be. So let's just open up a link, see how fast that is. I am over Wi-Fi. See, it's loaded up. See how fast it is. You could double tap to zoom. You could zoom in, scroll up and down. But the thing is, although it is a good web browser, I just don't find myself using it as much. The one that I use right now is Dolphin, because I find that one just to be a lot more responsive. So let's go to the Verge on here. See the difference? This is probably one of the best ones that I found. I tried Firefox, and Dolphin just seems to be the best one. So you can see this is the mobile site. Let's go to the full website. So if you plan on getting the Nexus, first thing you download is Dolphin. Much better web browsing experience. Let's wait for that to finish loading up. You can see how scrolling is with the Dolphin web browser, and pinch to zoom. Double tap to zoom in and out. And yeah, this is a quick look at the internet browsing experience. Like I said, Chrome isn't the best, but definitely try out Dolphin web browser if you haven't already. And also, if you're wondering about how the phone performs, I showed you already, it performs very, very fast. But in terms of benchmarks, I tested Antutu, and I've got around 17,000. I put the link to the video somewhere on the screen, and I also did some other another benchmark video. I'll put the link to that somewhere on the screen if you're interested in seeing how well the phone performs when you're doing benchmarks on it. And another thing is games as well. People want to use this as a gaming device. You could definitely use it as a gaming device. I've done a ton of videos showing different games. I'll put the link to that somewhere on the screen. You could click on the screen somewhere to see my gaming videos. I've done other separate videos as well, so you could go see how they perform, and it pretty much handles all the games out there. I think there was only 2 games that had a little bit of lag on. That was Need for Speed Most Wanted and Nova 3, but I'm sure those will get updated and it will run smoothly. But most of the games, it runs absolutely fine, no issues whatsoever. So to wrap up, this is an amazing phone. It runs buttery smooth, and it has amazing hardware and software as well, and it also has great specs as well to back this up, with the 2 GB of RAM, quad-core processor, 8 megapixel camera, IPS display, and all of that good stuff. So the specs are pretty good, especially for the price. The 8 GB model in the UK is £240. 16 GB is £280, and there's similar pricing as well in the US and other countries. So it's very, very affordable, and that's without any contract, just to get the phone unlocked. So yeah, and it's currently sold out in the Play Store, so you kind of have to wait for that to come back in stock. And some disadvantages or downsides to it that I've noticed is, and could be downsides to other people as well, but not for everyone, is there's no external storage, so you can't like add a SIM card in there or anything like that to kind of expand the memory. There's no way to do that. You only stuck with the 8 GB or 16 GB depending on which one you use, so you kind of need to bear that in mind. If you don't use a lot of data, or you don't use a lot of music or anything like that, it's not a problem. But if you have a lot of music and stuff you want to put in there, or games you want to load in there, you might want to go for the bigger option. And another thing is the removable battery. Even though this hasn't been an issue for me, it can be issues for other people. They might want to have longer battery life, or maybe want to throw another battery in there, or anything like that. It's something to bear in mind. You can't get access to the battery. Even though the screws at the bottom, you can't really replace it. It's not that simple. And the battery life on the phone isn't that great. It's okay, it'll still get you through the day, but it's not as good as other phones out there. And another thing I wanted to say is the camera. The camera quality is good, but it's not the best I've seen out there. It's not better than the 1X or S3. So yeah, that's about it. That's the only downsides I could think about the phone. Everything else runs smoothly. Despite this, it's still an awesome phone. It's one of the best designs I've seen on any other phone, even better than the Samsung Galaxy S3. It just feels a bit more, just because it's not made out of plastic, it just feels very, very nice to hold in. It just has that premium feel to it. And yeah, if you're looking for a new phone, definitely consider picking up this Nexus 4, especially since it's so cheap and it's affordable as well. So you can pick this up. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, my review of the Google Nexus 4, and hopefully it helped you to decide whether or not you like the phone, or whether or not you want to buy the phone. And yeah, leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think. Did you like my review? How happy about? Are you gonna get it? You know, just leave all of that good stuff in the comments below, and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and thanks for watching. Peace.